Today's devotional is called An Eye for an Eye. Boy, do we get this one wrong. We have gotten this one wrong since it was probably written down and interpreted by normal folk. You did me wrong, so I'm going to do you wrong back. Mary's smirking over here. Gosh, if there's a way to figure out how to screw something up, we're pretty good at it, aren't we? So here's the thing. People have used this excuse. This is cherry picking at its best from the Bible. They take a verse out of the Bible without looking at anything around the verse. What happens before it, what happens after it, the culture at the time, what its intent might have meant to the people who were looking at it, and they take it out of context, sort of like the government does. Let me give you an example, okay? Too much sugar is bad for you. Now, I personally determined this by taking a 10-pound package of sugar and dropping it on a mouse, and it died. So, yes, too much sugar is bad for you, but my reason isn't why. It's a whole different complex set of reasons that make sugar bad for you, isn't it? So, this verse is in the Bible 3 times. And so our definition of it is, if someone harms you, you should harm them back in the same way, often used to justify revenge or punishment that matches the severity of the offense. You'll find this in a secular dictionary with possibly a passing note in there about the Bible, that it's in the Bible. The concept of an eye for an eye is part of the Mosaic law used in the Israelites' justice system. The principle is that the punishment must fit the crime, and there should be a just penalty for every action. So what does that mean? Well, that simply means this. In the books of the law, in the Pentateuch, an eye for an eye was meant as an instruction for judges to make fair decisions in cases that are brought before them, so that punishments don't exceed the crime, or so that punishments aren't severe enough to meet a crime. So the general idea of it is right. I'm going to read what it says in my NLT. I like the way it reads in here because it's nice and clear. So this is Leviticus 19:20. It says, anyone who injures another person must be dealt with according to the injury inflicted. Mind you, this is instructions for a judge. A fracture for a fracture. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Whatever anyone does to injure another person must be paid back in kind. This includes robbery, making restitution on stealing an animal. And the Bible gets so specific on this one that there's definitions for variations of that. For example, if I steal an animal and eat it, the punishment is different than if I steal an animal and sell it. So this is meant to keep our justice system, that statue of weights and measures that we have for justice is supposed to be the ideal for how we met out justice, to keep a balance of how things should be done according to the laws that we have. So this law has almost never been used in the sense of what it was created for. This is a judicial instruction. This is not how to handle your personal relationships. If somebody bangs into my car in a fit of road rage on the highway, I'm not supposed to bang his car back. I should probably try and get away from the guy, try and get his license plate, and report him. Uh, Now, I have a very difficult time when I'm in traffic. I know another certain individual who talks often about how he struggles with this at our church, and you know who you are. And it is tough. It's really tough because people are playing games with our lives when they do this kind of stuff. Uh, but we need to understand we cannot cherry pick the Bible. We have to read things and understand things and follow things in the context that they were meant for when they were put down. And this is probably one of the hugest examples of uh, a verse in the Bible being taken the wrong way. You have a good day, church.